Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritual Mysteries of Life. And first of all, I want to thank Neshi for hosting the show. And I would like each of you, if you haven't already done so, to like and share the show because that helps us. And today we're going to continue the journey of the soul. We're going to talk about the spiral of attainment. And there's different avenues in which I'm going to talk about and how we get there. So hang on, because there's going to be some things that you're going to look at or listen to and say, what is she saying? And I don't think I'm ready for that, but let's go with it and flow. And ask the universal oneness for all. Our soul has a pattern, even though we are unable to see it. And I want you to pretend or imagine that you can see your soul, because we can't see it. And some people think, well, my heart is my soul. If that's what you resonate and that's what you feel, then go ahead. Today, I'm going to think of my soul as a flower. And I'd like to share, if that's what works for you. Somebody asked me, well, Connie, what flower would you choose? And I said, my most favorite flower is the yellow rose. And I don't know. I just love the yellow rose. And when somebody says, well, what's your favorite color? And I said, well, yellow. And not everybody likes, or when you ask people, well, what's your favorite color? Their color is usually pink or purple or some other red, maybe. Some people really love red. And I think, well, mine is yellow. And I like pink. So those are the two colors that I kind of resonate with. So those, but I was looking in my home and I thought, gee, I don't have a lot of pink or a lot of yellow as far as decorating or anything like that. But I thought, doesn't matter, because where is it? It's in my soul. And that's the most important thing. And as we start to develop our soul, think of it now. You can think of it as the flower, and how the flower, before it can develop, it's a seed. And the seed cannot blossom into a beautiful flower. It has to be watered and nurtured and cared for. And I have friends who actually talk to their plants. Now, I am not a plant person. I am an earth sign, but I am not a plant person. Don't ask me. I think it's because I'm on the cusp and I got a little more air in my system or something, but I don't do well. And but anyway, we'll just leave that with that. But I do love being in nature, and I love getting my feet in the dirt. So I guess that's a good sign. But as we progress and think about our soul, the word comes to mind, becomes. And becomes means to grow. And that's what we're doing here in this earth plane. We are growing. We are becoming. We will become the flower, the fruit that's going to emerge into a lovely creation. Think about yourself and say, how do you perceive yourself? What do I want to be? Do I want to be a master in my lifetime this time? With it, just what am I bringing into this lifetime? And will it come with the expression? Will it how do I nurture that? How do I get to that level? And it's a time process. It doesn't happen overnight. And I want you to think about the fact that we are all one in spirit. Now, if you're not ready for that, just put it on the shelf and think about it later. Because let me tell you, it will come back and it'll say, all of a sudden someone say, what? And of course, if you know anything about me in this show, in fact, it'll be 2 years that I've been doing this in April. And it's all about the I am presence. And some people say, well, how can that be? Well, that's just it is. If you listen to my show, you'll know. Even through my everyday lives and examples that I have given to you folks, it's there. I don't know how to explain it any clearer, I guess, and maybe through our processing and trying to show and share with each other our evolution of our soul. Because what we're trying to accomplish and use in this world of ours, I have been involved in music most of my life. And part of that is due to my ex-husband, because he was a music person, and so I stepped into that arena. And so now it's a part of me. And I am grateful for that. And when we think about our cosmic spectrum, the word spectrum, what does that mean? That everything is, words mean something. Well, to me, it's our radiant energy. What we radiate, the spectrum of who we are. And we're going to talk about things, and I'm going to show different aspects. We're going to talk about the different kingdoms. We're going to talk about notes. We're going to talk about color today. We're just going to try to incorporate some things, and I'm going to use some words that you're going to say, what is she, nuts? No, it's not nuts. It's just that's me. And so I'll try to explain myself a little as we go along. But as we're taking and trying to create our octaves of life, the notes and the scales and all the things the steps that we take, what are we doing? We're becoming. Becoming is the progress. It becomes a new note on our consciousness, a new consciousness. When we establish that higher frequency, the completion of each octave is double the frequency. And as the notes of like a piano, because I play piano and that's what I'm learning, are doubled in frequency with each octave. And like low C has a frequency. And the second is the C. Okay, am I on again? Okay, all right. All right, well, anyway, I'll kind of back up here. When I started talking about the notes on the piano, the low C has a frequency of 32 vibrations per second, and the second C is 64 vibes per second. Then the middle C is 256, and so on until you get to the high C, and that's 4,096 vibes per second. The same principle applies to the frequency of what? Our soul. Each octave brings us into a higher frequency of consciousness. Where are we? We're to be more sensitive to resonate with the infinite. That's what we're doing here. The law of the octaves is a very, very complex study. And each note also has its own inner octaves or of the notes, which explains some of our ancient symbologies that we've had, where they talk about the seven with the seven, or the overall cosmetic spectrum, or the cosmic spectrum of the octave of life as it is composed of the seven notes, the 7 degrees, the 7 kingdoms. These are all things that are we're thinking about and trying to figure out. Well, that's going to school, learning about those things, and also the thought of the 7 different ranges of frequencies. So that gives you a lot of different avenues to think about. And I went last night or Saturday night to a tribute to the Eagles. As a young person, I never had time to listen to the Eagles. I was in college trying to raise 2 kids. So anyway, when I listened to that music Saturday night, and the guitars, because that's what in the drums, the guitars, they hit such pitches that just pierce the ears. And I thought to myself, oh, how cool is this? But let me tell you, the drum, we were in the front row, and the drum was beating in my chest. That drummer, when he was hitting those every hit, it just was like it was hitting my heart. And I just sat there and I thought, oh, I had to take my breath. I actually put my hand over my heart because I thought, I feel the vibration of that. The vibration of that man's, and it was phenomenal. So anyway, enough about that. But anyway, through the different frequencies. Now, I want you to think about this if you can, that the frequencies are like threads. They come down through to us. When I started working and asking for the direction for me to work in the I am consciousness, I thought, okay, that's a process. It's a thread that comes down through to me. When the Archangel Uriel made his presence, he didn't come right in and say, hi, Con, how you doing? They sent the vibration. And it was just like, are you kidding me? And it's just like on one occasion when the Holy Mother was in my presence, I just said, no, I just couldn't I was on the floor prostrate. I couldn't even lift my head. And I was in tears because the vibration, when they send that in, is so powerful. And they want you. They're saying, okay. And when she put her arms underneath my armpits, I say she, but the vibration lifted me up and said, you are mine. We're here. We're going to work together. We're going to be together. And that was just phenomenal. So these are the type of things, when I share these stories with you, I don't want you to dismiss anything that happens to you as an individual, because it can happen to you. And don't think, oh, that can't happen to me. It can, if you're willing to raise your consciousness. Now, the first stage, like I said, I'm going to kind of incorporate some things here. That electronic stage is our base, okay? And with that goes the note of do. Like we're going to think about do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Those are the 7. And we're going to talk about the 7 different stages of this realm or this force that we're going to talk about. And then I'm going to try to incorporate the colors as I'm doing it. So here we are. We have the electronic stage, and that's the energy. That's our life force. And with the note of do, but it also is our root chakra, and that's the color red. And these units of energy are the building blocks of which all things are made, and which each has their own sufficient consciousness to determine whether it's going to be a positive, a negative, or just neutral, made by nature. Just that simple. Now, in the second realm, it's the mineral stage. And that represents the organization or the note of Re. And that color represents in our chakra system orange. And that's in our, just above our base, our chakra. It's just sits there in the lower tummy area. And what that is what I'm trying to explain to you, and it's a little bit of a physics thing, I guess. But anyway, it's what I remember, is that the carbon has 6 negative neutrons, and it revolves around a nucleus of 1 proton and 1 neutron. Okay? Then we have oxygen, which has a ratio of 8-to-1. In gold, I believe it's 79-to-1, and uranium is 92-to-1. Well, now, how about that? Now, each of these elements has its own unique pattern, just like our soul has a unique pattern. I want you to think about that. It's just not a little thing that sits out there. We have, so our soul, it's just like, I have to go here. They're showing me this, the book of life. When we leave this physical body and go back, because we're spiritual in a physical body. I hope you can grab that. But anyway, we're there. And so when we go and we look at the book of life and we see all the stuff, these are all frequencies. And you think, did I miss that frequency? Oh, no. Well, does that mean I got to do it again? Might mean that. I don't know. But anyway, for all the components of the electrical. Remember, the electrical is our life force energy, and the mineral is a force that is there for us for our well-being. And the third is the vegetable state, or the note of me. And it's the color yellow, and it has to do with the tummy area, your belly button kind of area. Now, our vegetable state has the facilities to absorb, to raise above the consciousness of the mineral. The vegetable can reach out its roots to get its substance and absorbs through the roots and the leaves. It synchronizes that which it transmutes the process. And it can also adapt to its environment. I have a plant that dies on me every time. It dies, I cry. I think, oh my gosh, my plant died. And the next thing I know, it's got all the leaves and all the flowers are there. And I'm thinking, oh, how awesome is this? It must be Florida. I don't know. Up north, it would have been dead forever. I don't know what that's got to do with it. But anyway, so now we're into the fourth kingdom. And that's the animal kingdom. And that's the note of the fa. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And that's the heart in the color green. Now, when I was thinking about this, I have to tell you a little story about this. And it's, the words is locomotion. And that is that in the animal kingdom, the factor is that the animal in the fourth kingdom is unlike the plant or the mineral because it has the ability to move from one location to another to obtain its substance, to sustain itself. Now, when I seen and thought of the word locomotion, it reminded me when I was young and I was working with a band. And the guy says, Connie, we want you to learn the song Locomotion. And I said, no way. I said, I'm a country singer. He says, listen, you got it. Now let's do it. So anyway, so when I seen the word locomotion, all I could hear was, everybody's doing a brand new dance now. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this is just too funny. Well, of course, that brought the vibration up in my house because I was laughing like I'm not. But anyway, I loved it. And I thought I got to tell you about that. But anyway, now here we are. Now we're in the fifth realm, the human kingdom, or the note of soul, which is in the chakras. It's our throat. It's the color blue. And now we as humans, we have the abilities of our own self-awareness. We know how to reason. We have free will. And we have the ability to be aware of our own nature and our own environment. We have that. And we can reason. As humans, we're able to exercise our own will in an endeavor to improve and perceive a better way of life, and to what? To make our environment in which we live better. This is an awesome time. And each level has a specific, get this now, vibration. Each one of these levels that we've been talking about has a specific vibration, and the vibration will change as they attain their greater soul unfoldment. So each time you're learning a new study, your vibration is going to change. You're going to see things different in a different realm. You're not going to see things the way you used to see them, and you're going to say, oh, I wonder what changed my mind. So now we're on to the sixth realm. And the sixth realm is the Christed beings, our angels and archangels. And the note for that is La. And the color, I believe, is the indigo. It is such a beautiful color. And they have the ability in their realm to inspire, guide, and teach us here in the human domain. Us. The masters of light are here to assist us humans to unfold. And it's here. I just can't say it enough. I we'll get to some more of that a little later, but right now I'll just leave that. And the seventh realm is the final realm, which there's more realms out there, but we're only going to the seventh here, is T, the note. Is that is the level of the Lords, and they have the greatest power, creative power. They can direct the various creative rays. They control creation. They control birth. They control karma, everything. They control it all. And these beings are of such character and quality that's impossible for us humans, our human minds, to conceive their frequency of power. It's just not there for us yet, but it's coming. And they are finally merged into the all-where. They are the power, wisdom, and being. They work upon the 7 creative rays. We have 7 creative archangels who are been designated to this earth realm to help raise our consciousness. All the angels, there are more than just 7 out there that are working with us and helping us and tapping into the younger people. Now, here we are again. We are, folks, we are the I am. You are a speck of that stardust. You are a speck of God. You are. I can't stress that hard enough. It was a hard thing for me to comprehend, but I think I'm getting there. There's some things I still have to work on, and I hope I can achieve those things yet in this lifetime, because I don't want to have to get over there and look at my book and say, did I miss that? Oh no, because I don't want to have to come back to do some menial thing. I want to get it right this time, and I want you folks to get it right. I want you to think about yourselves and get deep within yourself and know that your kingdom, your temple is within you. You have control of whether or not you're going to make those things happen and get to that higher frequency. And as we consider the human octave or the expression, however it works for you, I just use the octaves because I'm musically inclined. You can use whatever steps or whatever thought process works for your consciousness, because we're all unique. We're all different. Nobody asks, oh, gee whiz, how is this going to happen? How is that going to happen? It doesn't matter. It's your Christ octave of being. It's you. As human beings, our primary concern is to study. It is to learn. When Jesus set the example and he told us, these things which I do, ye can do also. And I'm thinking, oh, so there's things out there that I can do that I think, I keep it, I'm still kind of, I'm trying to be more open about who I am and what I do. And that's so, if you're not comfortable with talking to people about it, then you have to find like minds. You have to find people you can share it with. And the first thing you know, then you're okay. And, Jesus walked. And one person said, well, if he says we can do this, how can we raise people from the dead? And I thought to myself, well, I don't know about that. This is how I perceive it. Now, whether right or wrong, I'm not sure. But in my mind, and how spirit works with me, is that a person can be breathing like I'm breathing, but not have the consciousness. Maybe their consciousness is on a lower level. And maybe there's something I can say or be of service to them, which will bring them to a higher consciousness. That's bringing them to life, bringing them to a newness, a awareness. And that's what he said with all of the teachings that he did. Because people of that time couldn't relate. That's what he taught us as to what they could relate to. Now we have been given the 7 archangels, all the oh my, the tremendous energies. The Lords have opened it up and said, hey, we're here. Now let's roll with it. And babies are being born with children of gifts. And they think, how did they get those gifts? Well, they brought them with them. That was just there. It's part of their life. It's part of their book. It's part of the history. And so as we're moving forward in our soul attainment, or the spiral attainment of your soul, don't get lost in the mundane things, because in order for you to unfold, now in accordance to divine law, man can evolve through these human events to attain that Christ consciousness, because every time we have a lesson and we learn that lesson. I use the phrase, I don't want to watch this movie again. I don't want to see it again. If I've gone through that movie and it was painful, I suffered, I don't want to do that one again. So I ask, and I don't necessarily really ask, I demand. I don't want that. Don't you dare put that in front of me, because I already learned that lesson. So I don't need to learn it again. I'm moving on. You can do the same thing. You don't have to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. Now, if it's a love story and you want love in your life and you say, oh, well, I like that movie. Okay. And you love yourself. First, you have to love yourself in order for any love to come to yourself. And I think I've come to that stage where I can really know in my heart of hearts that Connie is okay. She's Constance. She's constant. And I am. And so those are the things that we just know that as we're moving and our spiritual values are coming, I want you to know that we can and we all evolve. And some of us evolve to a higher consciousness. And some of them are right here on this earth that are evolving and going into what they are under the influence of the white brotherhood, the higher frequencies that are beyond our human sight. They bring us the inspiration, the intuitiveness, and the illumination is the word, folks, for the day. The illumination of what your souls want by guiding and aiding and loving and helping each other. Humanity is struggling. It is. But we can make a difference. We can take the various steps that are necessary. And if you have to repeat a grade, or, if you have to do something over again, just bless it, love it. And if you've gone through a tragedy, sometimes people refer to them as a number 9 year. Those are pretty tough. 2012 was my 9 year, and I'm a better person for it. And it was. And yours will be too, no matter how hard you think you're having it right now. Just look within yourself and look within your spiritual oneness and ask and say, Jesus, if Jesus is your man, he's mine, and I'll walk with him. I walk with him and I talk with him along life's way. And that's what I ask of you, to take his hand, walk with him. He will guide you. He told us you can do all these things. You can raise your consciousness. You can do all these things. And we can. We can do it through helping each other, by loving each other and giving each other the necessary things that we see. Sometimes somebody walk up to somebody, and I always ask, I never just assume it. Maybe they need a hug. I always ask first, and they always receive. And one of the things that I guess I would like to say to you, that next time when we meet, it'll be the next venture. I think it'll be more a little bit on the soul, because you can't cover soul in in a few sessions. So but it's Easter. And so I don't know, Spirit may say we'll take a break from the soul and talk about Easter, but then it could evolve around Easter. So with that, I send you my blessings and love, and God bless you all. Till the next time.